So here we are hanging out backstage at the Grand Ole Opry, which is a pretty amazing thing to be doing, especially in the company of Vince Gill, who has an incredible history here in this space. And I just wanted to read you a quote and ask you what you thought of it from a great man. It said, "The Opry also helped me understand the difference between what's really important and what's trivial when it comes to making music. These days our culture has become disposable. What's the hip, cool, and groovy thing right now? The engaging thing about the Opry is that it doesn't buy into that theory, and I don't think it ever will." So that's you who wrote that.
I gathered.
It's a book I picked up because I wanted to learn a little bit about the history of the Opry, and I think, tell me a little bit about what you're trying to say there.
Well, I think the real magical thing that happens here is that it is timeless. A weekend here and a night at the Opry. Tonight we're here celebrating me being here for 20 years, and there's people that'll be in here tonight that have been here for 60. So you can come here on a given weekend and hear such a wealth of history of this music, not just what's the top 10 on the country charts these days. It never loses sight of where this music came from, ever. And that's what I admire the most about it, because I was a young bluegrass musician as a kid, and I was also the son of parents that were ravenous about music. So not only did I hear all the things that I loved as a kid, but I heard all the things that they loved. And being out here, oftentimes, what it does, it reminds me of not only my history and my music, but in a sense, where I come from, my parents' history. Like little Jimmy Dickens, his friendship to me is a really special thing. My father's first record that he ever got as a little boy was a little Jimmy Dickens record, and I never knew that story, until my father's funeral. And so the fact that I sang here with Jimmy one night and my dad heard it and he called and he said, "Well, now you've made it. You sang with Tater," and little did I know the reason his connection to Jimmy Dickens was so deep is because it was the first record he ever had.
That's amazing.
It was one of his. And so that's what makes this place really special. You come out here on like I said, on any given Saturday, and you can see what's going on today, what was going on 10 years ago, what was going on 30 years ago, 50 years ago, all in one night. And that to me matters, because I really believe that it's my job and it's my duty to be out here to perpetuate what all those that came before me did for this place and for this music. So it's a very reverent place to me, and I don't take it for granted.
Now you've been a member here for 20 years. Mm-hmm. What does it mean? How do you become a member, and what does it mean to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry?
Well, you get 10% off at Cracker Barrel.
All right.
It's one of the good things.
What a deal. How do I sign up?
It's nobody really knows the actual. There's not a written rule of how one becomes a member. It's strictly by invitation only by the management, and the management has changed over the years. Obviously, it's been here 85 years, so management will have changed many times in the history of this place. And I think they're looking for people that will support the Opry. It doesn't do the Opry much good to have the biggest star in the world be a member of the Grand Ole Opry if it never comes out here and supports it and does anything for it. It's a great feather in the cap for that artist. It's a great feather in the cap for the Grand Ole Opry to say that person is a member. But the real nuts and bolts of why this place works and how it will have to work is the people that become members have to be out here and support it. And so I think that's what they look at maybe more than anything is let's go out and find who we think is gonna do well in this industry and do well in country music and offer them that opportunity. And so I think they've done pretty good.